Well, doing some mid-farming, I found this.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Heavy. Very heavy topic. Ugh. Okay, welcome back to Vampyr. Where we left off, we were doing some mid-firing, but I found it too boring, so I kind of just went around, did all the talking and whatnot before we went into the morgue. I didn't do any hints yet, besides what you saw on camera, but oh well. Now we go into the morgue. As I said, didn't do any hints yet. After we do that, we'll go through the hints and have a look what's there. Alright. Already starting it off, okay. Here's something. Door. Nothing too interesting. Here's stuff going on in the background, but that's about it. What's in here? Nothing too useful. Besides some money. Which I might fresh out of. Can't go down there, it's locked. So let's go up a floor. Oh, first victim. Before we try to do anything.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Alright. Let's see if we get the killing bro.
Behavior
Yeah, we did.
similar to the infected
Yay.
William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Da, 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 da. Locked, okay. Not even a door. Real fake door. Let's see here. Nope, here
This
we go.
key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Items. Hello. Why bother? I should probably really be saving the shells, just in case for anything else coming up, but oh well. What's up here? Anything interesting? Huh. Corpse. Wiry rich blood sample. Might come in handy. Well, that's useful technique. Got some more.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals.
Oops. Did a little bit of a mistake there. Do one more. Just to top myself off. There we go. Now this is better instead of just farming around, collecting items all the time. That was so boring, I could barely find something to talk about. Hello.
It's locked.
Okay. Hey, something. Okay. It absorbs blood directly instead of having to do the bite. I think I prefer doing the biting.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the
Does
report.
both friggin' damage.
I'd better look into this.
Gives me blood. Alright. We got a victim. Or no, well, not a victim. Just surgery.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Okay. Open chest.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean. The chest has been reopened.
Oh. Perforated
A
lungs.
puncture over the left lung. Possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
Okay. Chest hemorrhage.
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
That. Oh. That's not good at all. That's like a major fuck up. Like, I'm not that kind of doctor, but if something like that happens, you lose a lot of stuff. Like, respect, in other words, just what else can I even talk about for that? Like, it's just really bad. This is where I was. Okay. Okay. Hello. What do you mean nullified? There we go. Finally. It. Let me have a drink, John. Oh. Strike through the pillar. Go on. There we go.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Whatever you do, don't do it. For the love of God, don't do it. Alright, go up here. What else is up here? Workstation. That could prove useful. Nothing over here. How weird. Nope. Here we go. Finally something. Okay. Crafting, yeah. Ah, perfect. Oh, if you guys were wondering where I got this from, it was from Buddy. Like the one that was at the morgue. Still hear everybody going on in the background. Okay, so do we add more points of stun or decrease stamina consumption? I think decreased stamina consumption will be more important. Another time for that. I'll take that, take some of that, and take some of that. Thank you. Alright. Oh, I got quite a bit of XP now. I'll save that for another time. I don't want to go through too many nights. Open the door. Door. Hello. I need blood, so come here. Thank you. Done. Nothing on you. Well, that's sad. Oh, more. Accidentally pressed something. No idea how strong the other person is, but oh well. Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay, that wasn't too bad, but I need a heal. And nom. There, done. Not gonna lie, that I was getting nervous. That was cutting it close on me. Nothing else in here. That was it. Huh. Okay. Well, is there still people in here? Oh, I just do double check. Nothing else in here? Nope. Okay. I just like making sure. I can't get in that door yet now, can I?
It's
Yeah.
locked, all right.
Oh, it's shining. Nothing else. Casually take some blood. Yeah, nothing else. Okay. Run, Jonathan, run. Yeah, I'm on the wrong floor. Gotta go down one. Time to leave. Okay. That was that. I guess we should go talk to Dorothy before we start checking people over. Running. Oh no, we have to craft stuff. Let's have a look. So we have to craft fatigue. Alright, I know there's more than one that have fatigue. We also had fatigue. There was only 2. Oh. Okay. Bring the medicine to Dorothy Crane. Alright. Bolting through the halls. Where are you, Dorothy? Ah, there you are. See you in there.
My sweet girl.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yep.
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Alright. Dr. Swansea.
As for me.
Alright.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
Time to treat
How
some
are you?
fatigue. Okay. Yeah, I
Do you
have to
need any
that.
help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Alright.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need
Alright,
any
let's
help.
go to someone else.
Don't waste your time with me.
Who else need fatigue?
Never a down my boy.
Let's have a look here. Ah, Cox. He's a real cock. Yeah, freaking. I'll only kill certain people. Ones that deserve it. Hey.
Hey, Doc.
Oh, I can't freaking do it from you. With my
You're
mouse.
lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky, treating all of my patients equally.
Yeah,
Don't-
equally. I'm
Don't
going
play
to
the
kill you.
innocent with me.
Let your blood
I'm sure you have
at
good
max.
reasons
I'm going
to
to
act
kill
this
you.
way. Also, weaknesses that can be exploited.
Cock. Alright, well, let's start with this guy. Since I'm already here, might as well.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Oh. Is that it? Almost there. I need 2 more hints before I can do this. Oh. I freaking hate him.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Yeah, leave him for now. Alright. Let's go check up on Swansea. Go through things later.
Fear and disgust on every street. Please, Jonathan, come in.
Holding a skull. Pretty difficult.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries.
Which
The view
country?
must be vertiginous.
I know I'm
It's
in
at
England,
least
but
as
which one?
vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
It
I
really
cannot
does.
express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Yeah, I am a living paradox.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Oh, first name basis. Yeah, no need to apologize.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
That is true.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
The way he went on about it is as if he had a crush. Not time to steal stuff. Grabbed. No idea where it read. Got a hint though. What else is in here? There we go. More notes. Hello. Oh, he had a warning. Got hints. More things lying around. Alright, let's talk to him again.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have questions.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Yeah, but your brother.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged
Quite
to
the name,
monitor and
actually.
report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yeah, don't you fear
Yet
me?
you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Yeah, where do we stand?
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect
What
of
do you
me?
expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Okay, fair enough.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Well, that's good to know. It won't kill me.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
So, no matter what, we would have to.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Yeah, where do they come from?
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The
Wow.
etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
I can see why.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Oh. And that's it.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Okay, we got some lore. And that way... Alright, before we continue any further, I want to check over everything. Swansea. Can I go down? Yep, I can go down these. Alright,
I'm really sorry, sir. I'll be
alright,
back in a couple
let's
of
check out Hellcroft here.
Good evening, Miss Howard.
Time to go
How
through
are
all the
you?
hints.
Need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Yeah. No. I don't want to ask that. Done. Done. Okay.
I'll
Nothing
leave you,
there.
Mistress of the Dark,
Ah.
to your nocturnal activities.
Okay. She's cleared of hints right now. You.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Follow the social circle. I know he's part of it. Alright.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why the
Why
lie?
lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Huh. Yeah.
Beauty is not everything, Mr. Elwood.
Says Mr. Pretty Face.
Whew. Okay, I freaked up. I freaked up bad.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here.
Excuse
Every
me.
time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. She's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Okay, that's fair.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
That's fair. That's fair, but she needs to stop that.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. Frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Yeah. That's fair enough. And I'm done with him. He's at max. I messed up the last one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
I don't plan to do anything to him.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, let's do this.
I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Wow.
But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Personal questions? Well, yeah.
Are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Yeah, be proud of what you've achieved.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
What about Milton?
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
I'm not going to get into debates on that.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why?
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who
Eh?
paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
Why?
You put a price on hope. This goes against everything you swore to uphold as a nurse.
Report me then, Dr. Reed. Report the little nurse and keep on lying about the surgical errors, the wrong dosages and diagnostics that we all covered for the sake of our colleagues.
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
You'd be saying it for both of you. I got all of them. So, if I truly decided,
Goodbye,
I could.
Hawkins.
Milton's done. So these two are done. Got one more for him. Alright, let's check out these two.
Good evening,
Hey,
Mr.
buddy.
Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Life in London. Yeah, no. Ah, here we go.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr.
I
Reed.
got progress.
You
can
can
trust.
trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here.
Yeah,
If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
yeah, I want to do that for him. It's his last words. He should have the right to let them out when he wants to let them out.
I have to go now, sir.
Even if his mother
But
wants to
don't
read it.
hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right.
Let's talk to his mother.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Duh. Nope. Duh. Yep.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't.
That is so stupid.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick.
Why would
But don't
you
you realize
set a
your
law
silence
that
significantly
prevents
affects
suicide?
your son's
Like,
case?
All my son needs is help
yeah,
and
what you
comprehension.
need,
Not
just
judgment and punishment
you
for
wanna
what he
do
may or
it,
may not have
then
done.
it fails, you go for prison, then you become even more depressed, then you try to do it again. It's an endless cycle. Why would you do that in the first place?
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
It's just so stupid. Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Nope. Nope. Alright.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Alright.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any
We
help?
got a few hints about you. Alright.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With
It
the
is.
influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
I kind of agree with him on that front. Alright.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
How do you know that, though?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
You must remain neutral.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
I mean, that is kind of like that is the human body. It is a machine comprised of blood, bone, and flesh, but it's a very complex machine that has thoughts, emotions, and all that. Just a very good one.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay. That's good. And then
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ends there.
My boy.
Where is... Oh, there he is.
I'm quite busy right now.
I must stand
Dr.
above
Reed.
all. Your thoughts.
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery.
Yeah.
I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Good.
Why
That's
do
really
you
good.
wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Yeah. He shouldn't... It's too... If it's too, like, you know, too small of a risk to do, don't bother. It's too much to do that. Yeah.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Fair enough, but it is still a worry nonetheless.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.